Hey family, welcome to Believe University, a space where you authentically can be yourself to learn, grow, and elevate. I'm your host, Queen Bee, in the building, and I'm here with the one and only Christian Kyle. Okay, so Christian, let's start off with a little intro. What do you want the people to know if they don't know you already?
I guess for those who don't know me,
Yeah.
I mean, but bitch, if you're watching this, you probably should. Awkward.
Period.
But yeah, I'm a dancer, I'm a stylist, multifaceted for sure.
Period.
Blessed to be in this space with my girl Perkeet, so shout out for having me. 301 shit, you feel me?
Hey,
Come
DMV.
on. But yeah, I mean, as far as me, like, I don't know, like,
You do it
right,
all.
like, I guess I do it all, but also in the same sense of just like, I'm human, I'm here, I'm out in LA trying to do what everyone else is doing, like pursuing their passion. But yeah, I'm right here for my girl.
Yeah, so originally you're from the DMV. You're literally from Maryland, where I'm from, if you guys don't know that.
Yep.
So we have a mutual. This is how, like, a little intro of how we met.
Yeah.
I get invited, I think it was Aiden's birthday, and you had hosted, we were
Yes,
going to go out.
I did.
You remember?
We were supposed to go out.
But thank God we didn't, because LA,
Yeah, and we got too fucking drunk.
we got too lit at the pregame.
It was better that way.
100%. And I was like, oh, you know my homie Corey. Because I don't know if I told you this. A month prior to meeting you, I was home and Corey literally was like, oh, you need to meet Christian.
Yes, you did tell me this when we was on that couch.
Yeah.
But you slept on that couch that night. I forgot about
I got so lit. I literally knocked the fuck out.
No,
I
that
could
was a
knock
good
out
ass
anywhere.
time. Literally.
But yeah, so you moved to LA how long ago? Just a little bit.
I think I moved October 2021
2021.
at the end.
Okay, so it's almost like, what, 3 years approaching in October.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, it's been a long time.
Yeah, how's it been so far, the LA journey?
I mean, it's been nothing short of chaotic, of course. You know what it's like being here, being around just new people and everything like that. I guess within the past few years, you come with expectations and obviously life hits you like a fucking truck.
Yeah.
We can cuss on here, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
Okay. I was about to be like,
Zero said the
wait.
same thing last time.
Because I was like, I don't want to be on here and be like, bitch, da. But yeah, it's been a crazy 2 years. I've been blessed enough to be signed to an agency.
Woo!
Meet a lot of the people that, I'm friends with now or just good acquaintances with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done my first movie, my first music video, a lot of things that I'm super proud of, but just ready for more, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But being here has definitely taught me more than dance could ever offer me anywhere else. But just real life and being on my own and being here and still being here and actively trying, because bitch, it ain't easy. It's never gonna get easy.
It's not for the weak.
For sure. But you know where we from. I'm
Yep.
just keep saying it, 301 shit.
301.
Yeah, it's been a great 2 years of learning, a lot of trial and error, a lot of fails, but a lot of wins, as long as you learn.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, I'm extremely proud of you. Like, seeing you've obviously just been doing your thing. And I don't know if it's just the DMV, something in our water. Like, we're just naturally go-getters.
Naturally that girl. Come on now.
Period. But if you could give someone, like, a quick synopsis of, like, what it's like to be from the DMV. Because there's a lot of us out here. We're out here deep.
Yeah,
I
deep
love-
as fuck, for sure.
I love that. And people don't understand, like, when I say I'm from the DMV, and everyone who does say they're from the DMV, we have this aura about ourselves that we just, I don't know, we just carry
Yeah,
ourselves differently.
we rep our city for sure. There's a lot of things that I feel like the community is a lot smaller, so we get to share a lot of the same experiences, which is why we come out here just so strong-minded and things like that. But the DMV is home. Shout out to Beat Your Feet. Shout out to Future Shock. Shout out to Raw Element. Shout out to Capital Funk.
Yeah.
Shout out to Laura Edwards Dance Company.
Yes.
Shout out to the community just in general. They really put me on my feet. I started dancing probably at the end of 10th grade or the beginning of...
Yeah. What year is that? For,
Probably-
what, 2016?
Yeah, like 2016, 2017,
17.
around that time.
Yeah.
And I really just started on a high school dance team, which was cool, and it opened me up to the community. And there's a whole different world, you know what I'm saying, in the community out there.
Yeah.
And they have so much to offer, so much to teach you.
Yeah.
And I was blessed enough to get in that space, which obviously landed me here. So I'm super grateful.
Yeah, I did not know that there's such a huge dance community in the DMV.
But it's like we'd never know. No one would ever really know until they really get into training and getting into it.
It was after the fact that I, like, so I started dancing. I've been dancing my entire life, but started training, taking it seriously right after I graduated. So like around 2019. And I knew I was going to come out to LA to still pursue dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I need that training. So I would go to New York because I didn't know that there was
Yeah,
studios.
New York hits.
It does
different.
hit. But if I knew like all the studios, I did not know there was actually like a huge dance community in the DMV until after I like went to LA and then COVID hit. I came back and then I was like, I still want to train, but like taking the train or bus all the way to New York.
Yeah, that's just
a
unfeasible.
stretch.
It's too much. Yeah,
I would do that literally all the time, 1 day trips back and forth. But then I found certified first.
Oh yes, I remember when Certified was coming up.
Yeah, like literally first, and that's how I met Aiden before.
You knew Aiden before LA?
Well, that's the thing. We didn't even like. I took his class. It wasn't even his class. I was supposed to take someone else's class.
Like, was it Alex?
No, it was like someone else. I remember just saying like I want to take her class, and then I ended up not realizing that Aiden was subbing. So Aiden was subbing that day.
Alignment,
and then,
love that.
Alignment. And then literally I'm in this class. I'm like, yo, he's better than half of these LA teachers. Like, so he needs to be in LA.
Crazy.
And then boom, he's in LA. But that's a whole nother story. But you also realized, I think, was it 2019? We did Shell Shock. We were in the same room and we didn't know that we were in the same room. We didn't
know. That's crazy. No, I always think about that when we're like, oh, you were dancing in the community. I was like, bitch, I didn't know you.
Exactly.
But again, it goes back to alignment. I met you at the perfect time.
Exactly.
Even leads us to this moment. But damn, I was training at Shell Shock. Shout out to Sheldon, yo, Shell. Damn, that was a whole era ago.
Yeah.
I miss that era. The community isn't as alive. I mean, a lot of people did pick up and leave, you know, to pursue their dream.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone's dream is to come back and pour into the community.
Of course.
But obviously, you know, learn things along the way to actually bring back stuff. Yeah. Wow, that's a crazy journey thinking about it.
Damn.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that was my first convention. And
you find out about a bunch of different teams and the things that they have to offer. Bitch, I was hopping around. It was giving groupie for the dance teams. I was at one team for 1 year, so on and so forth. But like, just being a sponge and learning everywhere you can was pretty much just like my plan.
Yeah.
You know?
And you did it.
Yeah.
And you're still doing it.
Bitch, we doing it, okay?
Yeah.
And it's not easy out here. I keep going back to that because I always think about those days, especially back in the community where there was so much room to grow and you felt so comfortable. And, you know, coming to LA like this melting pot of fucking people trying to do the same thing as you. And, you know, not to give ourselves a pat on the back, but like, you know, when you eat back home, you know, when you're doing what you're supposed to do and you come out here and it's just a whole different ball game. It's kind of just like, not necessarily restarting from the bottom, because I don't think anyone's at the bottom who comes out here trusts themselves enough to come out here and do those things. But it's definitely a different game. I hate that I even have to refer to it as a game. A bitch can't just come out here and dance. It's about everything but dance when you come here. Like, if that's one thing I really could say to someone moving out here, you know, move with love, move with genuineness, authenticity always. There's going to be a lot of demons or little things that will take you away from, you know, yourself. And sometimes we fall for those things because we think we want these things. And then when you get there, y'all, it's not giving what it's give. I've been starved on set. I've been there for hours past, not paid, 3 months in. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, there's a lot of things that change your heart about dance, but like, you have to love it enough to withstand it. And I think that's why a lot of people end up leaving or not having the, you know, willpower to get through that or those kinds of things, because they expect it to be dance. And you have to understand, when you take your life from one state to another, you're learning, you're adulting, and there's everything outside of a dance that you also have to worry about. Like, bitch, that rent don't be paid on first. I'll tell you that motherfucking much. It be happening, and you just gotta sit there and be like, okay, let me figure it the fuck out here, and compare themselves to their friends or a lot of people who are in the same industry. Like, y'all, some people's parents is paying these rents. It's a different
all the
type
classes, the conventions, the training.
Yes, and that's why you always just have to stay authentic to yourself and just know what's made for you is going to be made for you.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. You got into so many things I want to get into.
I know, and I was just like, wait,
you're just like,
maybe let me shut up. Yeah, I was like, let me wait for the question.
No, because we need to talk about that. I remember taking whose class when I first moved out here. I took someone's class, and a well-known choreographer, dancer was there, and I didn't know she was. I just remember seeing people, because we were in the same group. Like, the teacher put me in that group, and I was just me, being me. You know that era when everyone was wearing
bitch DC foam posits.
Exactly. She had them yellow foam posits on. And I was like, I know you're from DC. And then we connected, and she was like, don't ever lose this, like, the spunk, you being so genuine, and the industry will try to change you, but just remain you at the end of the day. And
absolutely.
so when you said that, I'm like, yes, 100%. Piggyback off of it, it's not really just only dance. It's the business.
Life,
yeah, it's like everyone's trying to take the money out of, like, you know, like they're gonna make the money before it is the
absolutely
dance.
Because you realize that you run into dance, you had it as a hobby, and you know, you kind of run to in real life and be like, oh wait, if this is my source of income, you have to, you know, find a different kind of love for it. In the same sense, you can still love it in that craft, but it's also your source of income.
Exactly. No,
but even touching on what you said before about, you know, just not changing and other things like that, like in the midst of those things, you have to hold yourself accountable. You know, we can blame so on and so forth and all the things that distract us, but be strong-minded, be strong-willed, and just know what's meant for you. Be inspired from everyone around you, yes, but at the same time, carbon copies aren't cute. Like, come on, y'all. You know, everyone, and I especially think this like right now, Full Out and everything used to be so much bigger than what it is now. You know, I think a lot of people play cool, and I even take part in this, and this is why I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of us have to take accountability in that sense, where it's just like less is more. But in real life, it's just like, if you're not going as hard as you can, bitch, no one else gonna go to bat for you.
No,
you literally have to ride for yourself, and you have to showcase yourself in every light that you can. And like, everyone is on the lines of thinking like, oh, I don't want to do too much, or like, I don't want to seem like this and that. Talk your shit. You kind of have to. No one here is really worried about if there's a cookie on a plate and it's only one cookie and it's a group of people. No one's gonna be like, oh, can I have that cookie? Bitch, you're just gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? And like, I got that. I think a choreographer said that to me in rehearsal when, you know, he was kind of looking at us and we're like, oh, we're not going as hard and all these other things. And I was just like, he was like, take it. There's nothing else for you to leave behind. Like, if you're on here, leave it on the floor. And I really took that in, because I was just like, me, myself, especially within the past 2 years, you know the cabinet dancers that are here, and you know the rooms that we're in.
Yeah.
It's so easy to downsize yourself or be like, oh, I haven't done so yet, so maybe I'm not here yet. You don't have to be in the same position to eat a bitch alive in real life. Like, no, in real shit. Like, I feel like a lot of us downsize ourselves in rooms where there are bigger people there, but what does that mean to you? That shouldn't change your value as to what you feel about yourself or other people in the room. So
I love that you mentioned that, because I even had to like take a step back and be like, Ricky, you literally left your family, moved across the country for you not to be dancing your ass off. Why?
And talking your shit.
Exactly. And it was because I was in these rooms of like dancers that I followed for years. Like, just, you know, that era, YouTube era, just everyone being on social media, like right before dance became what it is today. And then I'm just like, celebrities. Yeah. And then
no shade. I get it. Everyone's
you guys are
great.
Thing. You guys are great. But then I was like, bro, you guys are humans just like me. And 9 times out of 10, these people are terrible human beings. Like, just
let's get into it. But, and we also, that's what I'm saying as far as self-accountability. Like, when we do things like that and pull yourself back, you're feeding somebody else's ego.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So in that same breath, you kind of just have to be yourself. I understand going to a room and being like, damn, I followed this bitch for 10 years, but then I gotta sit here and act like I don't know the bitch.
Yeah.
For the bitch to just, you know, treat me with respect, you know, it's goofy shit. It really is. And I really think if everyone just kind of led with just who they were and showcased their light, it would work out in their favor so much more.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. Piggyback off of what you just said. Bitches be acting like they don't know me. Ooh. And I've met you 5 times. That's weird. It's so weird to me.
Okay, yes, as dancers, like, I really do want to say, can we just stop the whole, what's your name? Or who? And genuinely, sometimes, okay, granted, some people may not know, but you know when you know a familiar face. So the whole like, oh, tell me your name again. And sometimes we just do need to be reminded that's cool. But just for you to act like you don't know people and so on and so forth. And we were talking about this in the car, which is why we're touching on it now. Like, there's been a lot of situations where they wait to see who you're with, or they wait to see the rooms that you're in and be like, oh yeah, I remember you, so on and so forth. Be like, bitch, you been knew me. Come on now, you was clocking me. As soon as I came through the door, you was clocking what I was wearing. And they do a lot of shit like that, but that's why you feel the need to do it back, and you feel the need to be like, yeah, what's up? And you don't need to do that. You don't need to dim shit down. You don't need to sit there and fall to people's, you know, expectations of you.
Never.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Always rise to the occasion. Always bet on yourself.
Period. Yeah, because I'm going to call you out respectfully. on some DMV shit.
Be like, yeah, you met me. Oh my God. I will
You have a story? Okay, go ahead.
No. It was one time. I was at Ian's studio. I honestly do. I forget his name. He's so sweet though. He's very sweet, but we have never spoken.
Okay.
You know, he's a little bit younger, and I always see him, but we don't speak. You know what I mean? So finally, in a space where it was small enough, and I was like, you know, what's up? What's your name? He was just like, you know my name. He was like, you see me before? I was like, you ate that because I think I do know your name. But I'm trying to give myself the benefit of the doubt to actually meet you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like those situations, like we're talking about, you know, people who do those kind of things, but I'm over here like, I really could have sat there and been like, what's up? I love your stuff. I've seen you before. But I felt like in that moment I had to, you know, do that. Because that's what goes around. And that's what I'm saying. Don't ever, 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 ever like feel like you have to shine down or match someone's energy. Even if it's low vibrational, why would you fuck with that? Like, why would you be on that type time? Oh. I'm talking to myself for real. Like, why would I ever do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just that culture, like what's in the air when that's happening. I'm like, ew. I'm like, why? And then just that in a whole, just people just carrying their ego on their chest. And I feel like I did it for a long time because I felt like there was no other way to be. I felt like anytime I felt like I was shining too bright in the room, it was too much of a problem. I'm like, they don't need to know me like that, or they don't need to, you know, and people are fucked up out here. I will say that. Protect yourself at all costs, but I do think that part of you should be able to be freely yourself at all hours, at all times.
Yeah. Piggyback. Sorry. I was just like,
no, I thought you was about to say something.
No, yeah. Because I think 9 times out of 10, people out here are it's very transactional. Like, it's like, what do you do so that you can help me? Whatever goals. And vice versa. And like, even like it is LA. So a lot of people out here are like
that, yes.
Are achieving
to a
something.
fault,
you know,
yes.
they're doing something.
Everyone's climbing the ladder.
And it makes sense. And so they're always like, the first question is like, what do you do? And I hate that question. It's like, I do a lot of things. That's my go-to. I always say that. I do a lot of things because a lot of people would just think that I'm just a dancer. But trust me, you guys are going to say, wait. But yeah, it's very much, who are your connections? Who do you know?
Yeah.
What rooms can you get me in? What opportunities, you know?
Yeah, and what a lot of people fail to realize after being here a certain amount of time, 1, clock yourself, but 2, you start to clock other bitches who be like that and be like, oh, I don't like them, but it's a part of the process. Yeah. I do believe that to a fault. A lot of people, no matter how nice somebody is, no matter how kind, sweethearted, these people are trying to get their shit. You know what I'm saying? People do it the way they do it. You can only hold but so many things accountable to somebody else, but the transactional state is just like, that's why who you're with consistently matters. You cannot confuse people you work with often and family, because it does cross paths. You know, at one point you feel like, oh, I'm with this person so often I feel like I know them, but you don't even know their birthday.
You don't even know their middle name.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things where be like, oh yeah, that's my boy, that's my brother, and
they're not showing up for you.
It's not. I feel bad, but it's not. And I actually don't feel bad. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to those kind of things, having a strong team as far as your friends and your family is the biggest thing that I feel like has held me down within the past 2 years. Because I could have gone through whatever, but if I had to come back to my house and be like, I'm here for you, like, that's what y'all need at the end of the day. Some of y'all need a hug from your parents, but in real life, y'all need a hug from people that love you and you love them back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
care for you.
Yeah, and I think that even a lot of people that I was intertwined with prior to coming, they already had something for themselves, you know? Which was great, but that was never a thought in my mind be like, that's a stepping stone, or that's like me and that literally, like Caitlin, for example, you know who my girl Caitlin is, like me and her, we were on this team together, we woke up drunk and in the same bed, and I was like, oh, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And that's like, that's how our friendship sport. It wasn't through like, oh, she's amazing, she's good, because she's all of those things.
She is, yeah.
But outside of that, she's a genuine good person.
Yeah.
And that's what you kind of have to attract yourself to.
That part. And like-minded people are always going to attract each other. And I feel like a lot of people forget about this, where you're so focused about getting this choreographer's attention, this teacher, whoever,
and the bitch still don't look at you.
Yeah, let's really talk about it. But a lot of people forget it's the people that are on, I hate using the word level, like the same level starting out. If you build that community, if
y'all all there,
we go up together and we all pouring into each other, collabing, that's how these people at the top did it when they were down.
Absolutely.
I hate saying that. You know what I mean?
But you see it, and it's prominent, and it's kudos to them, because that's team shit. You know what I'm saying? They all lifted each other regardless of what level they were on because they started off as family. And I see that.
Exactly.
I see that getting to be in their classes and other things like that. You get to see that community within that.
No, yeah.
But it can feel exclusive sometimes. And dance is an inclusive space. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Got people of all races, sizes, and everything else. It's just like, that's a space where everyone should be loved.
Exactly. We're expressing ourselves, but then it still feels like...
Yeah, and you gotta be nice to everyone. The same bitches you see on the way up is the same bitches you see on the way down. Like,
Period.
You have to think about it like that. Like, and not for that reason, like, oh, I might run into them again, but come on, like, be real, like, be a nice person, be kind. And I feel like a lot of people do lack that nowadays. Which sucks, but, you know, be accountable for yourself and be accountable for your space, and I think it'll work out for you.
Of course, 100%. Oh, I love
I feel like we were just talking about something else too.
I know. I'm like,
I'm missing it.
I'm trying to remember. We hit something where it was like, ooh, I want to talk about that.
Wait, even just like going back to just having your rocks and a lot of other things in the midst of me doing my own thing, like, or having friends who are also doing their own things, you get to learn so much from somebody else. Like, I brought my best friend here today. Her name's Destiny. She's over here behind the camera.
Shout out Destiny.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that bitch, she teaches me every day in everyday real life and outside of my own career path. She gets to share her stuff with me, and I get to be re-inspired by someone who's coming up with me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's what keeps you inspired and keeps you motivated.
No, I love that. I love that you can, like, turn down your ego and use every opportunity as a learning moment.
Yeah, you have to.
Bro, we're all so talented, multifaceted.
Everybody,
creative,
literally.
you know, so it's like we could learn from our peers, from our loved ones, and instead of using that as, oh, something I can get jealous about, like,
yes,
I might as
bitches
well
be like that.
Exactly. Instead of doing that, it's like you said, get re-inspired, and then it helps with your craft. You know?
Yeah, that's always like, you know, ever when you go home back to Maryland, you stay for a month, and then you be like, damn, not this is why I left, because that's the wrong term to use, but I think it's more on the spectrum of just like, these my people, and I see how talented they are, and I know how hungry I once was, and I need to carry that same, you know, weight when I move out or when I go back and all those other things.
That's the one thing I pray. Hopefully people don't get jealous about it, but more so get inspired of, like, seeing everything that I'm doing out here, because it's not easy, but it's, I know, like you said, there's so many talented people in the DMV. They're just sitting and wasting the talent. It breaks my heart.
And I think it's, a lot of people hold themselves accountable to keeping the community alive. You know what I mean? Because there needs to be people who are help guiding each other and give those flowers. Like, I definitely think that everyone who's home holding it down, like, we see y'all. We definitely see y'all. We see y'all holding it down. But in the same breath, I think there's a lot of people who are out there that pour into the community more because they're scared of pouring into themselves. Yep. And I don't want to say it in the sense of like, oh, they're not doing this, that, and the third. They're doing everything they can. But I think there's a lot of strength in just sometimes hyper-focusing on yourself and being able to give more back to the community when you have more things to share.
Exactly. Like that saying, you have to fill your own cup first in order.
Yeah. How
to,
you
like,
filling someone else's cup with an empty cup?
It don't make sense.
Absolutely.
Whew, we're hitting on so many different good topics. All the notes. I wanted to ask you, because I know you're really close with your family, and I know we can't go
always
back and forth.
Family,
and so how is that? Because I know it's hard for me being literally 365 miles away from my family, missing important stuff.
It is. It's a lot. I'm a sibling of 8. You know what I'm saying? So.
Are you the youngest? Were you in the middle?
No, it's my sister Kay, then it's me, then it's
top.
Bing, then it's Chi-Chi, then it's Maya, then it's Andre, and then Cairo, and then Livy. Yeah.
Big family.
Yeah, big family, all my brothers and sisters back home. But I think how I've handled it a lot is just, you have to make those trips home. You always have to make it to those events that you know aren't worth missing, even if it's a job or even things like that. Like, it was one time a friend of ours, I don't want to say it because I don't know if like that's something he's willing to share, but he got a job and he chose to go home instead. And in my mind, I was like, oh my God, why could you not take the job? And he, you know, he believed in himself enough to be like, I want to go home and see my family before. And he did all his shit and he's still doing his shit. And, you know, that's something that I get to look at and be like, damn, I missed one of my cousins' debuts or like cotillion. It's like when they turn 18, they transition to a woman.
Yeah.
And she was like, the one gift I wanted you was to be there. And, you know, I couldn't be there because I was on hold for a job.
Yeah.
There was a lot of other things that I was thinking of. And I was like, I can't miss this, this, and this. But you don't ever get that time back with your family. So every time you have the opportunity to show up for your family, you have to, because those are moments that you genuinely get to look back and be like, I'm not a part of that. And you missed it for a job that you probably weren't even locked in on. You know what I'm saying?
Or
because
happy.
it fucking be like that, or aren't happy on, you know. Go back and see your family if you can. If money's an issue, figure it out.
Yeah.
Wait, not figure it out. That sounded insensitive. I know it's hard to be figuring out. Trust, bitch, believe. I know. But prioritize that. You know what I'm saying? They're always going to be rising and everything else. So always take the time to pour back into your family, for sure.
No, because your family are the ones who genuinely love you.
Yes.
It's not because, oh, your dance abilities and you're helping me create this vision of mine.
We said it. Our moms is begging us to still come back home and be like, you don't need to be out there right now. And, you know, to have family that supports you, especially along these lines, or help where they can and all those other things. I'm so grateful. My mom is literally the best mom I could fucking ask for. I miss her all the time, but I
love her.
But then you be home for 2 weeks and be like, girl, I'm ready to get the fuck up and out this house.
That
you know
was
what I'm saying?
Me, literally the last time I went home was the quickest trip. I was only there for a week, and I was like, that it felt quick, but every other time I'm usually there for like almost a month.
Yeah,
and
same.
Towards the end, I'm like, oh my god,
need to be in my own room. Need to check in, like,
no, literally. But
it'd be like that. But you know, your family's there for you. You got to be there for them, even across the country or wherever you are.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's super important. Okay, so a little bit back. I want to go back to you. What's next for Christian Kyle?
Getting the fuck up. Probably, like, honestly, like I said, like these past 2 years have really whooped my ass. I think I've adjusted to a lot of the things that, you know, I was just talking about this with my friends Caitlin and Jake. Oh my God. But these past 2 years, I think I've lost faith or trust in just like what I could do or what I was doing. Like, I was pushing choreography out my ass. Like, right before I left to Maryland, just like after, you know what I'm saying?
And your choreo is fire.
Thank you.
Literally, we're going to his class right after this.
Yeah, we are.
So you guys need to stay tuned.
That. But I stopped trusting myself to do those things. I would be like, oh, I'm going to make a combo. And then be scared of the idea that it might not work out, so I don't do it. And the same happened with eating habits or the gym or, you know, other things. And I just kind of lost all self-accountability and trust with myself. And I was smoking hella weed at the time. I was drinking all the time. There's nothing wrong with that, bitch. I still get down. You know what I'm saying? But along the lines of just doing it as if it was a hobby and not something I get to celebrate myself with. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And those things distract you from what you really want to do. And it works for some people. I won't say it works, but for me personally, like, I couldn't be smoking every day and getting to what I was doing because thoughts was overlaying and I was giving myself excuses, you know? And what was the question? Like, bitch, for real, I'm like over here getting lost in my shit.
You said you lost.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, lost sight, but now you're back.
I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm having the sessions. I'm having the class. I'm making choreography. I do love dance, but I think I realized a big part of dance and what I loved about it was the community and what it had to offer. And I love performing, obviously. I love doing
Born to entertain.
Yes, literally entertaining in general. But I think I found a great deal of trust with myself, especially earlier this year, because at the end of last year I was like, I cannot be sitting in here, like, you know what I'm saying, because bitches always want to see you do good, just not better than them. And I was stuck in that position for a long time where I always felt like I was like, I need guidance, and I just needed to get up and actually do what I said I was gonna do. So I think what's next for me is a lot, honestly. I think I'm gonna just be talking my shit a lot more, doing a lot more creative direction, my choreography. I definitely love to tap into music, but that's definitely something I'm willing to wait on. You know, shout out to RBR, Rap Brianna's. That's Jake and Aiden. We used to be rapping, like, that's how we started really doing music. We were not even started doing music, just playing around. You know, we would be in the car, we'd be rolling up, and we'd be like, I think it was one time Aiden, it was me or Aiden, I was like, let's just freestyle rap, you know? And we started off with like cat, dog, frog, like, you know, dumb shit. And then we got to listen to beats. Jake ended up making beats, and we just were rapping in the car every night. And then we finally was like, I booked a studio space. I don't know if it was for it wasn't for my birthday. It was just a random ass time. We're like, bro, let's just fucking get in the studio. So I got like 2 big Henny bottles. I invited everyone who I knew that would just be coming in like during parties and just be rapping with us.
Yeah.
And then we just ended up getting drunk and rapping, and it was something like we thoroughly enjoyed. And you know, I always want to be like, it's a joke, but like, it's not. We be in there spitting some fucking shit and then be like, oh, okay. Especially Aiden's been doing that. He be spitting. He writes too. I don't think he will, but it's not a focus of his, but he do be on it.
Yeah.
He be spitting some bro shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I think also, me too. Last year, 2 years, I've definitely lost sight. And it's so hard, especially because life just... Woo.
Yes, baby.
But we're back and we're better. And for me, I think I lost a lot of my confidence. Like I'm very resilient. I still am. But I think before, what even had me move across the country at age 18, you know what I mean? Was fuck it, we ball. We're going to figure this out. And that drive. And I really believed in myself and I had so much faith. But then I think for me, when I got here and I used to, especially during COVID, my sister, when we were on lockdown, my sister was literally my videographer. We were doing like videos all the time. I was learning stuff. I was creating stuff. Yeah. Every week I was dropping something. I was so consistent. Just cause I loved it and I had nothing else to do.
Right.
And then when I came here, I wasn't freestyling as much. And I grew up freestyling. And doing battles. Yes. That's literally how I started dancing.
Come on.
So like, it's insane for me to come here and just lose sight of that. And I think now I'm tapping back into my inner child and just what made me happy as a kid. But for me, I think I realized it was because I was creating all that content, pushing it out, because none of my friends were really dancers. I had maybe 1 or 2 other dancer friends. Yeah,
it was always separated. It was weird. Real life friends, dancer friends.
Exactly. Then I came out here and now I'm meeting all the people I used to follow and like they actually fuck with me and I fuck with them. And all my friends can dance down. Like, they are talented as fuck.
You already know. Literally.
And so I think that was it. It was the fear. Oh, they're going to think that I'm not technically trained or this, that, or the third, you know? And I just had to be like, fuck it, bro. Like, I'm also a huge people pleaser, and that's something I'm working on, is to not do that.
I'd be like, I'm sorry for nothing.
So I'm learning to just literally do whatever I want, whatever's gonna make me happy. And at the end of the day, we're all learning, and you can't elevate if you didn't start. And so
yeah, for sure.
That's my big thing.
I think it goes like, even I just saw something the other day which I really loved. I think I put it on my story too. It was like, fear is an invitation to growth. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you're scared of those things because you haven't done it and you have to do it. Like, this bitch then took me to the gym this morning and she was like, you haven't done this stuff, and my arm was like wobbling and I'm like, bitch, am I good? She was like, this is just new. You know what I'm saying? Even just little things like that you get to compare it to. But
yeah, no, you're right, because you have to get uncomfortable, and then once you start doing it, it starts to feel familiar and you get better. And
I think about that. We were training for like years on years, not even thinking it was training. I was like, hey, I'm with my girls, I'm with my boys, like I'm just dancing, I'm having fun, I'm performing. And then, you know, you grow up and you realize that it's a whole different game. It's a lot about who you know. What you've done already, and you know, credibility is due where it's due. A lot of people are in the places that they're in because they have done this shit.
They put in the work.
They do this shit.
Yeah.
But I just still think it doesn't depict whether or not how you treat a person. You know what I mean? Because
they forget.
Yeah,
where they come
everyone forgets. And you can have that moment of like, but stay authentic, for sure.
Yeah, no.
That's
always.
my biggest piece of advice to anybody. And it's not like be yourself then. Like, be yourself 1,000%, no matter what it costs you in a room. It may even get you more than you think it does. You know what I mean? And like, aspire to inspire. You're going to inspire someone else, and so on and so forth. Yeah. You know, you may not think you're doing anything right now, like if you haven't booked a job or if you haven't done so on and so forth, people are still looking to you as a star you are. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when I fuck up in class, I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I did that. But like, no one's going to count you for that 1-8 count. They're going to count you for the whole class. You know, and I think that was somebody's journey. True. You know, you got
how you get up, how you bounce back.
No L's, just lessons. I guess all L's. Just no losses, lessons. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And then I just completely blanked out. I think it was...
It's like me trying to remember right now for you, like I'm in your brain.
I know.
Like, I'm like, I don't know.
I have no idea. But okay, I guess another question that just came up.
Yeah.
What motivates you? What's your drive?
The reason I do everything. It's funny because you had just spoken about tapping into your inner child.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of my youth was, of course, living up to expectations, or, you know, being like, I never had to come out. Like, my mama was asking me if I was gay when I was like 4. I used to be brushing my teeth. She'd be like, are you gay? And I used to be like, what? What is gay? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was always accepted in my household, but there was a lot of things I had to feel like I had to accustom myself to make other people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And because I felt like I lived a lot of my life that way, I am so free in LA. Everyone is themselves, you know what I'm saying, or tries to be themselves, or like has that room to do that. And I think that's what motivates me the most, like just younger me and being able to live out a lot of things that I didn't get to live out before. And again, goes back to family. Of course, my family motivates me, my best friends motivate me, everything else along those lines, you know. And I think there's a lot of choreographers that inspire me too.
Yeah.
They do a lot of great work, and getting to meet good people who make good art, phenomenal. Like an example of mine that just like popped up is like, do you know Chris Lucky?
Atlanta?
Yes.
I need to go out there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's such a warm person. We worked a movie together last year, and that was my first opportunity getting to meet him, because I've seen his stuff for years.
Wait, what
that,
movie?
You know what I mean?
I think I remember you were in Atlanta.
Descendants.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I remember. I do remember.
So when we filmed that, it was an opportunity to get to know him, but he wasn't egotistical. He wasn't, you know, fed by like other shit. It was actually able me to meet him and me to be in that space and be like, wow, like your good art explains how good you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna take over the game soon. I definitely do think that's someone who's gonna like just
hate at the
for
ballpark,
sure. You know what I mean? Like, he's phenomenal, and he's also great.
Good human. I love that.
Yeah, back to even Aiden, phenomenal work from him, but he's always been like that. He's always been creatively intuitive.
Yeah.
You know? And in his classes, you know what the fuck you're getting.
Yeah.
Goes back to even another 301, Monica Polk.
Oh, I love.
Baby, she gets it done. She shows you the foundations. She teaches beautifully.
Yeah.
She's honest. The feedback is there. You know what I'm saying?
She pours.
So yeah, my home team is inspiring as fuck.
Period.
My city, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone back home just
Yeah.
as inspiring. Like, yeah. That's definitely my lead of inspiration.
Thank you. I love this. It's been an amazing episode. Thank you so much for pulling up on me. Where can they find you? What's your Instagram, all your social media handles?
Christian K. Kyle. I think my TikTok name is Ronchiana, but like I just be a dumb mouse in there for real. Like I just be cutting up, doing dumb shit with Destiny literally all the time. But yeah, y'all can find me there. Again, shout out to Burkett. Shout out to you guys for having me.
Yes, Mad Labs.
Yes, please,
Big
like remind me of the name.
Yes.
Yeah, I almost said Kevin, and I was like, no, it's Kenny. And then, yeah, just shout out to y'all for having us in the space. Shout out to Burkett for having me. Hop on this shit, y'all, and support people. Like, you know how hard this shit is.
Support is free.
Yeah, support is free.
Free 99.
Sharing shit is free. And you don't have to be inspired by everything you see, but support goes a long way for anybody.
Yes. Oh my God. Dropping nugs. Jeff. We love it.
We trying.
Okay, fam. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you drop a comment, subscribe.
And if you don't, your mama's a hoe. That's how I'm ending it.
Period. And that's Believe University. Don't forget to be you. Peace.